here we are. I'm here with LA Underlined. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you tell me about how you met?
I went to school in Epsom, and then after I left, they chose to open up a massive guitar store called Guitar. So I went along there for like all of my stuff, for guitars, strings, accessories, doing setups, any repairs I needed. I went there.
This is great advertising.
I know. It's a product placement, Guitar in Epsom, and they've got this amazing acoustic room just full of Martins and Gibsons and Taylors, the best acoustic guitars that you can buy, and they let you play all of them.
Really good salesman too.
Yeah, and they've got some great salesmen. They're really friendly, and they all know their stuff really well. And one day I was just in there practicing a song that I'd written. I wanted to buy a guitar, and I was testing it out on each and every one. And up popped Ben, who just said,
just hiding there.
"What are you playing?" He was literally. There was a little tent in the corner. He'd been camping, remnants of whisper bars and those bloody coconut shell things that you have.
And they were great.
Yeah, they're great. We just started playing together this one song that I'd written, and sort of we were jamming along, and it was great. And I just happened to mention to him that I was thinking of putting together a project together.
Yeah.
I'd written some music, I wanted to get it recorded, and I wanted to play some gigs and so forth. And it all kicked off from there, really. We started doing some stuff, just me and you.
Yeah, he sent me a few songs, just like acoustic tracks, which were great songs, but they needed some rock and roll behind them. So
yeah,
and that's where you stepped in.
they needed
Mr. Ford.
Exactly. I mean, there's only so far one person. I think there's only so far one person can go when you're writing. So you've got to be as open-minded as possible. So I wanted to get as many different backgrounds as possible into the song, just kind of see what we could throw up.
Yeah.
And we did throw up.
We did throw up.
So to speak, of course.
So to speak. And looking to expand. And we then found James.
Then popped up James. Yeah.
Then popped up James. We in about September time we got emailing backwards and forth. We released an EP. And there's a rock song on there called Thief in the Night, which was sort of the direction that I now wanted to go into with the music. So James then came on board and we started rehearsing.
Yeah,
and then
I already knew James from my previous band. He did some photos for us.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I initially knew Ben from those local jam nights in the area.
Yeah.
Which...
Didn't you guys go to ACM together? Did you go to ACM?
No, we both went to ACM, but I think at different...
Was you not there when I was there?
Might have been, I don't know.
Well, if you're saying
roughly the same time.
Roughly the same
I think
time.
that they're saying might have been.
Yeah.
Same era.
Same era, yeah.
Yeah. Then I was like, okay, great. The expansion is going quite nicely, and I had all these ideas for new rock songs, and for putting just more and more instruments to the music, and then we needed more, so I then put out. Then we get into the really boring how we met story.
The climax of the film.
I want this so to be like we were. I was at Thorpe Park and we were on Colossus together. And you just happened to be there.
Yeah, just say that. There
I
you
threw
go.
up on Liam's head.
Yeah, exactly. Whilst we got stuck on the side, I was like, "Mate, do you play bass?" So I put out an advert on Music Network Pro. Do you know that? Yeah. I just said, "Well, I need a bassist," and the only reply I got was from Henry.
So you were like,
Yeah, the one reply I got was from Henry. He just said, "Yeah, I'll play bass. I've done this."
He was the
and
most
that, so
desperate, obviously. We'll have him.
God, this is so much weird. And so I went to his house in Biggin Hill in Kent. Biggin Hill. went down to Kent, and honestly, within 5 seconds, I was like, "This guy's amazing." And I knew I was going to get along with you straight away. And we started chatting and talking. We had this.
Love.
It was love at first sight, basically. We had the same. We've got the same kind of approach to like lyric writing, because I'm a big.
like lyricist.
Like lyrics are really, really important to me, and it was great to see that they also, you had the same kind of things. He's a poet. He writes the poetry. So
it's not as much as it sounds.
but he does his thing, and he puts them up on his blog and his website, and I was like, this is amazing. And then he wouldn't shut up about his girlfriend.
Concept's added.
So and then whilst we were rehearsing, the four of us, I was like, can we add a piano to this? Can we add another acoustic guitar? Can we add another electric guitar? Can we put,
Add something else.
add something else, a
Funny you should say
mandolin?
that.
And then, like each conversation where we were doing that, Henry would be saying, "Oh yeah, well, Annie plays this for this, and then she does something else for that."
Oh wow.
And so I was like, "Okay, can we just meet her, please?
Could you just join us?
Can you please bring her down?" So you then came along to the Fiddler's Elbow gig,
Yeah.
where it was the four of us played at the Fiddler's Elbow in Camden, to the grand total of about 7 people.
Yeah,
something
That
like
was
that.
your first gig, all of you together, wasn't it?
That was the first gig where the 4 of us played together, wasn't it?
Fiddler's
Fiddler's Elbow, Camden. Do you remember that one? Where during sound check, the manager came down and was like, "You guys sound great."
Yeah, I was just
And
like,
then the gig came up, and I got it filmed, and it was missing something. And clearly, it's been missing you.
You've already mentioned your track, Thief in the Night, the Eagle3 Showcase Track of the Week.
Yes.
I was wondering, what's the message behind the track? Talk me through it.
Now. Is this going out after the watershed?
I'm so glad you asked
This song is probably not suitable for family viewing. even though there's no explicit language in it, it's a coming of age song, but it's
Okay.
about losing your virginity to the wrong person.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Which is something,
You love it even more now.
I tell you, having lost your virginity to the wrong person, it wasn't very good. But it got. But
It's honest though, writing stories is an honest, powerful
I think a lot of people can associate with it as well.
2 hours.
Because, it's such a weird taboo.
It's like the Fratelli
to talk
song,
about,
Nuts from a
and yet a lot of
Hippie.
people
It's a similar
don't.
thing.
Yeah.
no, that is it. It's about, because I was with somebody who was very experienced, and I wasn't, obviously, at all. And it just kind of, she basically, I felt that it wasn't right after doing it, but I was so keen, because I was 22, that I was like, okay, so let's just go.
admitted that on
let's just-
camera.
I was like,
The most honest in here.
need to go.
That's me, I would have knocked 5 years off of that.
I was like 16 and a half.
Jimmy Carr was 26. So was Tina Fey. Tina Fey was 26. So I've just outed them if they hadn't already.
You've been researching this.
I've just outed them if they don't know this. But that's what the song's about.
Okay, great,
And
yeah.
it's kind of, it's not how I feel all the time, but it was like how I felt in sort of one day. I was like, because then the second person I was with, it was much more organic and
Yeah.
everything. So then I wrote the song after that, and that is what it's about.
What song would you say has been the most fun to work with and create, and the most challenging?
Oh, Out of the Shadows.
Out the shadows.
So at the same time, or
At the,
two
because
different?
no, that's
2 separate. Which one
Oh,
was
so-
fun? Which one was challenging?
which one was fun.
Out of the Shadows was
Out of the Shadows.
the most difficult one. I
Yeah.
think.
Is
Why,
it-
why so?
There's a lot of layers to it. There's a lot of just different sounds where to think about, rather than just going in there and playing basic rock chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Probably
lot
my
of
favourite one, to be honest.
Yeah, that song is one of the ones we've just finished
Right.
recording, and we're going to release that next as a music video. So keep track to our social media for more news on that. I'm still working out how we're going to do it, but we're focusing on thoughts at the moment. But
Yeah.
Out of the Shadows has definitely been the most fun to work on, and the most complex to write and to get together. Most fun to work on because. As I wrote it acoustically, just on the acoustic guitar, and then we got together and we started playing through it. It just, all these different lines and different instrument parts just came to
And it
me.
all just adds, doesn't all, like Ben was saying, doesn't all start off like one big rock. It starts off quiet and then just escalates into this massive.
Because we just started as bass, guitar, drums, and then we were like, oh, let's put in a piano. And the piano then came in with these beautiful cluster chords.
Yeah.
And then all the way through we were playing it, I could hear the saxophone line in it. And so we brought in a fantastic saxophonist who you recommended, called Ben Donnelly, who just came in and played this amazing sort of Poirot-esque saxophone line, this really like sexy line that's just got full of like old sort of jazz bar, lounge kind of thing, but with a really strong intent to it. And that song to record was so much fun, and was great. So that song has been both the most fun and the most challenging, definitely.
Forget the rehearsal. I'm bathing in the sun. It's beautiful.